Thank you, Holly. Let's have a round for Holly. She's awesome. She gets us all the news for you. Thank you for coming out. Hall H, how about that? It's a thrill to be moderating here today, and I want to get started right away, so I will introduce our panelists. First up is our executive producer, Jeremy Carver, back on the show. Next we have Mark A. Shepard. You might have heard of this next guy, Jensen Ackles. Another newcomer you might want to keep an eye out for, Jared Padalecki. Another one I think you guys are kind of fond of, Misha Collins.
That was short.
And because dead is never really dead on Supernatural, Jim Beaver. But definitely not least, consulting producer Ben Edlund. All right. First up, Jeremy, welcome back to the Supernatural fold.
Thank you.
You've had some time making Being Human for Sci-Fi. Great show there.
Thank you.
So, what's it like? What's it like being back in Supernatural world?
It's wonderful. It's sort of like having been a camper, coming back as a counselor. So it's great.
Like a true writer.
And so, picking up with what we just saw and where the last season ended, Jensen, when we last saw you, Dean was in purgatory. So
yeah, which actually Misha just pointed out feels like right now with all the red lights. If you turn around, it's just nothing but red lights out there. I'm like, wow, I'm still there. Yes, purgatory.
So Dean's gotten out of hell before, so purgatory can't be that hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, that's it's like diet hell.
Hell zero.
Yeah, hell zero.
So what can you tell us about Dean's, how will he get out of purgatory? What can you tell us?
I don't know. Are you kidding me? I just wait for the scripts to come in, and yeah, I think much like the hell situation, obviously Dean can't stick down there forever. So he gets out. How he gets out is, that's too much of a teaser. I can't tell you that.
Well, maybe Jeremy and Ben could fill us in a little.
They might be able to fill you in better than I could, yeah. Ben?
Yes. Hi. How's it going?
Hi. Tell us about Dean's plight.
Dean's plight is a terrible one. I don't know if you're aware, he's in purgatory. Well, I think, Jeremy, we kind of think that he's going to come back on the show, and that's not like a huge surprise. In fact, there was
Whoa.
No, I was, oh, didn't we, Jeremy? So, no, his return from purgatory is going to happen quite quickly, and then the story of purgatory and what took place in purgatory is going to kind of be a story we track for a good long time, actually. It's going to be, isn't that true, Jeremy?
Yes, that's true, Ben.
Very good. You're so far away from me right now. I'm used to being closer to that shirt. It's not a Brokeback thing, I swear.
I was told the theme of this panel was wildflowers. That's what you guys like this.
All right.
But yes, he will return, and more of the story of what takes place and how he's just brought to the limits in that place will be something we examine over the course of the season.
Okay. I see we're not going to get a lot there, so let's move on.
I don't know, that seemed like it took quite a bit of time there.
Jared, there's a rumor floating out there that Sam's getting a little loving this season.
Again, he is. Yeah, Sam is totally getting some action this season. It's been a little bit. And Jeremy told me something a few years ago. He was like, listen, man, I really love seeing you with your shirt off, so. And I was like, Jeremy, that's really weird, man. But, I mean, you have 3 kids, but he's gonna do it. And also, I'm gonna take the time. Guys, thank y'all for waiting out there to come see it. Really amazing, really amazing. I mean, we saw the line out there, and I know a lot of people didn't get in, so thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this. Forgive our indiscretions. Thanks.
How many people are out there? How many of you are there?
At least 10.
Yeah. That's insane.
Wait, keep those house lights up. Jared's gonna tweet pictures.
Okay, count off.
That's incredible.
What?
Count down.
That's amazing. That's like a whole nother room back there. It got dark, and then, hi.
You know what's amazing also is that we can't see their faces, which means they can't see ours either.
It's not that big a loss.
Hey, Jeremy, no pressure.
Jensen, what about Dean? Is he going to get any romance this season?
Well, I mean, does Dean ever really get romance?
Well,
I said romance.
Oh, romance. Yeah, I think the only real romance in Dean's life is the car. So, in that regard, absolutely.
well, to that point, sort of, not the car, but new people in their lives, Jeremy, then talk about the challenges of bringing new characters into the fold who are going to get close to each of the brothers and how that challenge, especially with such a passionate and devoted fan base out there.
Well, I mean, I think the strength of the show is the bond between these 2 brothers, and ultimately, despite everything that's gone on in the past, they're at the core of their humanity, and I think they are just as open to new relationships and new beginnings and endings as anyone else in the world. And I think, in all seriousness, about the beginning of the season, we're going to see that when they were separated at the end of last season, it had a profound effect on each of them. And each, obviously, as is hinted at, has gone a very separate way that they will each carry with them what happened essentially in their summer away from each other. It's more than a summer. The relationships that they've made in their time off from each other will carry forward and will be very important in each one of their lives, and they're going to have to come to terms like any partnership with dealing with the new relationship in each other's life. So.
And they're kind of emotional shut-ins that have to learn how to deal with other people. I mean, like they've spent a lot of time in that car together with just like crumpled up snacks and stuff. I mean, this is a way of looking out to the outside world and connecting with, I mean, in a way, we get to play with maybe another thing to play with that we haven't always, I mean, it's a show that relationships are hard to chart, so we're actually trying to get into, I think, more complex and more like real human relationships. We'll see how it goes. Good luck to all of us, but it should be, it's a good try.
Yeah, Sam and Dean in real human relationships. Good luck, guys.
No, it's going to be great. And with machetes also. Machetes and a chainsaw.
Misha.
Yes.
There was no question, I just wanted to hear that.
Thank you.
Is that the question?
Make sure that's your name.
Castiel bolted on Dean at the end of the season. So what's going on there? What can we expect? Where's he gone, and when will we see him again?
Don't look at me.
I'm looking for visual.
I was just staring at his face.
He went out for beer, and he'll be back shortly. I think we're. This is very difficult. The format is very difficult because you ask questions about things we're not allowed to talk about, and then we try to not talk about it to you for 45 minutes, and then everybody goes home unsatisfied.
I have a lot of camp stories that are really, really revealing and uncomfortable that I could get into. I mean, from my own personal life.
That might be nice. Yes, let's hear some of the weird, sort of damaging childhood memories.
I think that's
Hey, I'm interested in that.
So, but I guess we're gonna explore it. Explore what happened in Purgatory in flashbacks.
Jeremy already said that. When does Castiel come back? You misunderstood the question.
This is the box. I feel really uncomfortable right now. I don't know.
Okay.
It's great. It's a really easy question. Just answer the question.
Why do they do this to us?
When does he come back? You can't answer the question with another question.
Oh, man. I plead the fifth.
Is Castiel here? Can Castiel tell us?
Jim. Last time we saw Bobby, it looked like he was off to that great salvage yard in the sky. But you're here and we're very excited to see you. Can we read anything into that?
You can read anything you want into it. I don't know.
Will somebody get Jim a supernatural hat? Does anybody out there have one? We need him in a supernatural.
The funny thing is, I've been asking for one since season 1. It's the pat answer is it's supernatural. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. I have said anything's possible maybe 7,000 times this weekend.
7,001 now.
Anything's possible.
Mark.
Yes.
Does Castiel come back?
Well, funny you should ask.
Do Castiel and Bobby come back, Mark?
I don't know. Anything's possible. I'm just waiting for season 8 to be renamed Oh Crowley.
Canton.
So Crowley finally got his hands on Kevin in the season 7 finale.
Could you please rephrase that?
Crowley finally took Kevin hostage.
This is not going very well, guys.
At the end of season 7.
Yeah.
What's next? What's his plan? You know, I know anything is possible, but
What's next? What's his plan?
what's he
There
going to do
you
with
go.
Kevin?
It's good to, truss him up in a course. A leading question. Look, Crowley is essentially what
Rephrase that
happens.
one, Mark.
Crowley is essentially what happens when people aren't paying attention.
That's true.
Crowley is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the relationship that the boys have had with Crowley is, I think it's been a rather good one. It's been fruitful and kind and compassionate.
It's been reciprocal, I think.
Yeah, pretty reciprocal, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave him stuff and then I got stuff.
Yeah. Certainly so.
Can you rephrase that, please?
But I think we might be in a situation this year, I think I'm right to say, we might be in a situation in this year where we're kind of chasing after the same thing. So
Yes.
this could be a bit of a problem.
This would be a season where you guys end up, because it's remarkable how many times they've fallen into non-antagonistic relationships with the King of Hell. It's, you know, it's cleverness on the part of the writers, I like to think. But, this is a situation where they're really going to come to a much more antagonistic kind of front with each other. I mean, Crowley has to shore up his camp, and he is actually the one who thinks ahead more than any other character in the universe of our. I don't think the Angels even really handled it as well as he's done. So he is going to be an issue, probably quite a titanic one. I don't know.
Like I said, oh Crowley, basically.
What just happened? I had a sentence and then I just started to hear myself talk and then I was just like, and then I saw the top of my head.
Just a stream of consciousness.
So did that answer your question?
Good enough.
Okay.
What? That wasn't good enough? Wait a minute. Oh, I hear you now.
You really are kind of a character on this show, aren't you?
I get no screen time.
I get no screen time.
Jeremy and Ben, we hear one of the theme, if for lack of a better words, for this season is Raiders of the Lost Ark. So tell us a little bit more about what that is. What does that mean for the show?
Well, I mean, can't go into it too much, but suffice to say, a lot of seasons past, the boys have been reacting to things at the beginning of a season. And I think this year, for the first time in a long time, they are starting the season on offense, as it were. They really want something. It ties in very deeply with the mythology, the overall or overarching mythology of the show itself, and something that is very near and dear to their hearts. And so notwithstanding all the luggage they bring from their time apart from each other, they are very much united in going after this one thing.
Our like log line for this season was, this time it's personal, except for then there was this shark movie that had that. Jaws, I think, or Jaws 4 actually had that. Anyway, continue. I don't know.
And
Bobby Ben had his espresso this morning.
I don't know if I help it. I can stop.
Gary, this is helping.
Give me a talk.
I don't suppose you could hint at what this one thing is.
It's one thing.
It's the Ark of the Covenant.
I think, you know, we know it has to do with,
We know that
I
for
just
sure.
stroked out here on stage. I apologize. A buzzer went off in my back. No, I think I have to think it out right now. I think I have
Crowley, Kevin, Dean, Sam, they're all involved in a chase for, you know, a power source, ultimately. We won't be clear about it, but this season, like all others, will introduce a game-changing element that we've already seen hints of. But we have a roller coaster, and we're going to get you on it. It's strange to try and unpack a roller coaster at the beginning of the roller coaster. That's why they have the part that goes up, so you can go down. Roller coaster, it's got wheels and tracks and all that shit.
Alrighty. Why don't we open it up to fan questions now? Just
Maybe we'd do better if we let the fans answer.
So just say your name.
Hi, my name's Frances. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Francis.
My question is for the producers, writers, and I was wondering if the show is ever going to address the fact that as brothers, Sam and Dean look nothing alike.
That's pretty cool.
Ben, you were cooking up an episode about just that, weren't you?
What's that? That was going to deal with that? It's got a whole Inuit storyline. No.
Here's the thing, if I were to grow my hair this long, you couldn't tell us apart.
That's right. That's how we came to the audition.
air.
That's why it all worked out. You had the hair like that.
That's it, precisely. It's, and this is what you're left with. I apologize, but it's.
wondering if, in the event of an apocalypse, zombie, Croatoan, or otherwise, who would die first? Who would you team up with? And who would survive?
This is like that game where it's like marry, kill.
Choose your words wisely.
It's the only words I have.
There's a sign that says right here, there may be audience members under the age of 18.
There is that sign. I didn't. I'll go
I
back.
don't care. What? it's like Jerry Springer now. Just yelling stuff out. Would anybody like to take that one?
No.
No. We've had apocalypses. Apocalypse I? How do you pluralize apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Can you? Apocalypse. We've already had several apocalypse.
Doesn't sound right.
And only
Fairly
Jim
certain
died.
that one of the three humans would die first.
Right.
Jim would die first, and then he would be resurrected within 30 seconds.
Because anything is possible.
That's why I'm wearing the red shirt.
I'm pretty sure that there is no such thing as a plural of apocalypse. I mean, the very
Apocalypse.
There's only one. Apocalypse is a bloody event, isn't it? It's a single event. You can't have plurals of apocalypse.
Then what's an apocalypse? Answer a simple question. What is an apocalypse?
It's a creature on Doctor Who.
How many?
Okay, next question.
Hi.
How would you pluralize apocalypse?
Apocalyptic pie?
That's 8 apocalypses.
Apocalypse.
My name is JC. Hello.
Hi, JC.
Hi. I just wanted to say, first of all, Jensen, you're the reason I'm pursuing acting, so thank you.
She's like, if they can get jobs, I can do this. You definitely don't have to be that talented. This is refreshing news.
That's really mean of you to say, JC. That's really mean to suggest.
Aww.
I'm just teasing.
Okay. My question is, if your character could have a superhero or villain name, what would it be? And I'm gonna take a chance with this, but Dean always takes those, so can I have you?
Oh, she got cut off though.
You got cut off.
What?
I don't want it. Superhero names, anybody?
Apocalyptic guy.
Which apocalyptic guy?
Captain Thunderpants?
Captain Thunderpants.
I think at one point, one character
Too
called
many to
you...
choose from? There's too many rattling up in here, I gotta be honest with you.
I'm trying to think of clean one.
Ben, I really want to hear you.
There was one point, where you were, one episode you were called Chisel Chest, and I think that works pretty well.
Chisel chest.
That's right. That was the Ghostface. I'll take that. Dang, Ben. Thank you. I thought Jeremy was the one who always took my shirt off, but I guess Ben is too.
Moose Man?
I would be ass butt butt.
That's like ass but I have other qualities.
Thank you, JC.
Go ahead.
I'm Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
She does now.
She's right
Waiting for
there.
5 hours and I love it.
Okay. Before I say my question really quickly, I wanted to say, I'm gonna rat out my Sherlock because she both hugged you, took a picture, and talked to you. Not going to, okay. Okay, it's a really good question. what is something you've learned from your first experience to Jensen? Directing an episode that you brought into directing your second and currently third episodes?
It's probably more of a technical thing than it would be a creative thing, but you know, directing the first time, it was, you know, kind of trial and error. You know, this is going to be boring, but you know, pace of a scene is very important. Thanks to the man to my right. No, I got to explain. Because Mark has has that, you know, wonderful voice and the wonderful performance that he does. You know, I could sit there and I was just kind of watching it as an audience member, forgetting that, you know, the scene was now taking 9 minutes as he just rattles through his dialogue. And, no, get out of here. It's a compliment, man. I was so enthralled with your performance that
you memorized really well.
I forgot that, yeah. So anyway.
So you notice the pace he's going at right now, you want to speed it up.
See, I've lost half the audience. We don't want to do that with the show. We want to keep you guys. So pace is one thing. And you know, just understanding lenses and what they do and how they can direct focus and things like that is helpful. So I'm actually in the midst of directing my third one right now. Losing them, I don't mind. But I'm directing my third one right now, and I'm trying to cut as much of his stuff as I possibly can. Which is fine because I get a director's cut. So yeah, it's probably more technical stuff. Directing TV is very difficult though. You have a schedule, you've got time limits, you've got budget limits. It's
unlike a panel.
As Ben can tell you, as Ben can tell you, he's directed. And, it's a challenge.
Oh, it's a terrible challenge. Yeah. No, it's true. I found that what I started to learn increased, like, all I found out from the first to the second experience of directing was I was better able to figure out what I didn't know and how, like, behind the curve of the math that happens on a set. It's a tough thing.
Yeah, it's scary when you get on set and there's, you know, 60, 70 people just staring at you going, okay, what now?
Oh, and then it creates this signal in your head. You go flatline from conscious thought to
Don't say flatline.
Oh, you're past the flatline, man. Don't worry about that.
Thank you. Yeah.
What can you tell us about the episode? Like, what kind of an episode is it, if you don't want to give
When does Castiel come back?
Is Bobby still alive? The episode that we're shooting right now, it's kind of a one-off. It's you know, which I love. I love the one-offs where the guys they catch wind of something, they go after it, they kill the bad guy and save the family kind of thing. So it's one of those, and it's a good one.
It's heavy on blood, right? Isn't there? It's
pretty bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody.
Yeah. So look for that.
Next question.
Yay, blood. You guys are Supernatural fans. I figured that would have a certain selling quality to it.
Hi.
Nice shirt.
This question is for everyone, including Jim, whose character may or may not return.
Anything's possible.
Everything's possible.
Is there a characteristic or aspect of your character which has not been addressed yet that you would like to see brought toward the foreground? Or would you like to amplify a characteristic like we did last season with Dean's drinking problem? And side note, thank you for all the charity work you've done.
I'd like to finish up with Sheriff Rhodes.
I think there have been too many aspects of Sam. I'd like to just go back to normal sitting on a bar stool Sam. I think, I mean, I'll answer this because I have a feeling, but I don't think there's been a lot that has not been explored in Sam, and I think that makes it interesting in my opinion for season 8, because like Jeremy was talking about, the beginning of all the seasons, other than season 1, we've been responding almost directly to what happened the prior season finale. So what I think is neat is that we've seen these characters through 149 episodes after 7 seasons grow and change and evolve. Thank you guys. But now we get to see, it's like the characters have grown up in front of you, and now we get to see who the characters want to be. You know, Dean's gone off to purgatory. Sam's been without Dean, without Bobby, without Cass. This guy took Kevin in his hands, took off. So point being, now all the fat is stripped away, and it's like, who am I? So we get to see what Sam and Dean are going to do. I don't know, for my character, I'm excited to probably re-explore some of the stuff that's already been explored at this new point in Sam's life. The end.
And sing. I think that there's enough, because all of the characters have been through so many journeys now on Supernatural. We're, I think, all kind of damaged and worldly.
Speak for yourself.
I'm damaged. So is the character that I play on Supernatural. But it is actually kind of, I mean, this is kind of what you're saying, I think. It's like there's actually a ton to mine right there, just responding to an ordinary circumstance now. The character has been through so much that, I don't know what I'm saying. But
when does Castiel come back?
We need to explore my loveliness.
I think.
Ackles? What?
Someone loves you, Mark.
What happened? No.
Thank you very much, whoever is.
Next.
Hi, my name is Fiorella. Sort of reiterating what you said before about your characters going through different changes and phases. Was there anything if you had the power, would you alter your character's storyline, or do you have a sort of preference on how you would end it?
Who was that to?
Right, that was to Jensen, Jared, Misha.
Everyone
Jim.
up
Yeah,
here.
pretty much, yeah, sorry.
There is a shorter way to say that, yes.
Anybody? I was always kind of envious of when Sam drank the demon blood and had his kind of, the mind power that he possessed with that was kind of always cool arc. It was a really cool arc, and I remember reading those scripts and going, I really wish Dean had a superpower that he could utilize, but I didn't envy the bleeding from the nose thing, because that was terrible. I'd sit there and watch. They would shove a sponge up into Jared's nostril, full of soaked with blood, and
fake blood.
It would, and it would, just disgusting.
Yeah.
Some of the things we do.
It wasn't fun, but it was fun to play Demon Blood Sam. It was fun to have.
To just be able to, to have that power, I don't know, I think that'd be cool to have. But we can't, we got to keep these guys human, because otherwise, if we start matching powers with, the other people around us, then it just, I don't know, kind of loses the humanity of it all.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hey.
Cass?
Are you back?
Hi! My name is Sam.
No, you were really in the wrong cast. Very confused person.
Did you look in the mirror this morning?
Hi, Sam.
My question is for Jensen and Misha. I was wondering what you think of the Purgatory storyline, and if you think we'll be able to meet any old enemies, or maybe even some angels.
Well, we haven't seen much of the storyline, because it's going to be revealed to us throughout the season in flashbacks. Am I correct in saying that? Yeah. So we will learn more about what happened, to their time in Purgatory as the season progresses. So we don't quite know what that is, but yes, I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what is revealed in that. Yeah. Anything to add there?
No.
Guy?
You talking to me or to Misha?
Misha.
Please go.
But Ben, if you have
Well,
something to add,
I could add something about the storyline, but I have no idea what it is, so it's difficult for me to add.
Go ahead.
You know what? Why don't you go?
I know. I mean, it's a hard question for an actor to answer because of the incoming material comes from the. So I understand the difficulty that Jensen now faces in this moment, and then we have our own constraints on what we're supposed to say. Hooray! But I think that, you go into purgatory, there's a whole body of events that take place there. There are meetings and conflicts and a whole other kind of subterranean storyline that happens in the past, but it affects the future in all these different ways. And yeah, Jeremy, I'm right. They're going to meet some badasses down there. There's going to be some big problems, right?
yeah, we'll say that.
Sorry, go on, Jeremy. I didn't mean to distract you from what you were saying.
That's all right. No. I think we can safely say purgatory makes strange bedfellows. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're going to be sleeping with a lot of people in purgatory? Is that what you're saying?
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Next question. Thank you.
I see a
Sam?
There must be a sale or something.
Hi guys, my name is PZ. I'm from Singapore, and I'm a huge fan. And Misha, thank you for giving us that morning run. Appreciate that like crazy. Okay, my question is for everyone. There's been a lot of dead characters in Supernatural, so if each of you could pick one Supernatural character to revive, who would it be?
Trickster. Definitely, Trickster.
I definitely no one up here.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
There's one very strong one, yeah.
Chuck?
Chuck's great.
Chuck.
No, not those guys. I actually think I think Richard Speight and Rob Benedict are in the
Are you
audience
guys
somewhere.
here?
So
Where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Standing up.
Yeah.
Good luck getting out.
Yeah, good luck getting out, guys.
Get up.
Yeah.
They're happy to give everyone here an autograph.
In the center of the auditorium. Making out kisses for free. To each other.
See what happens when we not only we bring you on the show and write characters for you, but then you're stuck here. You have to be here. I mean, it's like it's infectious, isn't it? Richard Speight emailed me. He emailed me last week, and he's like, "I know you got a lot on your plate with the acting and the directing and stuff, but I assume that's all taking a backseat to campaigning to get me back on the show." And you would be correct.
Yeah. We would love, let me say it in front of our showrunner here, I would love to have them back. I really would. I hope there's a way to make it happen. I'm sure they're looking into that.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
Even if it's just working as set PAs.
Even that. Well, ideally.
You know what? I need somebody to help me make tea.
Have you ever had Rob Benedict's tea? That's good. That's good.
That's good too.
Good tea.
Thank you.
Speaking of characters who haven't been around for a while, last night I ran into somebody who said that if he didn't have to catch a plane this morning, he was planning to sneak in here and ask a question, and that was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But he had to catch a plane, so he blew you off.
I was also just told, I believe that Sebastian Roche is in the audience somewhere as well.
Hey, Sebastian. Where are you, Sebastian?
Resurrect him too.
So he's not, he's like, I'm not standing up. Are you crazy?
He's also giving out autographs.
He's up and his shirt is off somewhere.
Next question, please.
Hi.
Hi.
This is really weird. I just wanted to say first that I really love the show and I love all of you. And thank you for making something so amazing. But my question is for Jensen and Misha. And I was wondering what you guys thought of the whole Destiel relationship that a lot of
That's some weird shit.
I'm not. Can I poll the audience? What was it? Deathsteel? Is that what?
Deathsteel.
Have you not heard of that?
I have not heard of this.
You
Is
don't
this
want to
something
hear
that you
that.
created, Ben?
You don't want any part of that.
I don't know.
It's sort of extreme bromance.
It's a fan fiction. There's a lot of images from it too. Pictures of maybe, let's say, Dean in an angelic embrace. And that's being kind of gentle with it, isn't it?
That.
Feel
That's
that
great.
question.
That's great. Love that. I mean, you've got pictures like that of us in embrace all over your bedroom. I know that.
They have a van with that airbrushed on the side. It's just a strange splendor of fiction.
Yeah, my conversion van just has his face on it. It's just a nice airbrush, and then there's an eagle on the other side. I ran out of room. And a wolf howling at the moon. It's cool, you'd like it.
Okay, we have time for about 2 more questions.
It's good to get change up, I think.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is for the actors concerning things you guys do on set. Is there any time you guys ever got tired of being strangled or
Yes.
things?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
doing things on set, basically.
He shakes me, he picks me up and he shakes me for 2 minutes at a time.
And this is off camera.
That's off camera.
He just picks me up and shakes me at will.
I will say that I greatly disliked doing the stuck up against the wall number. We haven't done it in a long time. Because you just feel, because you're not stuck up against the wall, so you're like, I can't move, and you feel so bizarre. But luckily, we've been mostly tied up lately. Like,
You were fishing for that one.
when a bad guy.
Don't explain.
So bad.
When there's a bad guy, you know, when there's like
when two bad guys really like each other,
they don't make us stand up against the wall like we're stuck, which is a lot better. Thank you in advance for the upcoming season of not let the bad guys die us out.
Yes, it gets very tiring sitting there trying to act like you're being forced against a wall and you're... because when they yell cut, you feel like you want to pass out. So yeah, it does get tiring. The blood, although we haven't had a lot of blood in the past year or two. I think they got the message. All the complaining that we did, especially after, what was it, season 3? The end of season 3 with the Hellhounds.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, when your wardrobe shows up and it is plumbed, it has plumbing, it's not going to be a good day. It's just not going to be a good day. And then you see the guys with, like, you know, 5-gallon buckets full of red liquid
to refresh,
and then hook the hose that is hooked to your wardrobe into that bucket. It's not fun. It just isn't, because then it's corn syrup. It's
going to be a bad day.
It's going to be a bad day. Especially when it hardens and you have to wear it for 7 hours. All right, I'm done complaining.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hi. It's weird, like usual. I love the show so much. Thank you for making it. I wanted to say, you guys are so great at acting. You guys don't receive nearly enough recognition.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question is, will season 8 focus heavily on mythology like 4 and 5, and will we finally be formally introduced to God?
Good question, writers.
Wow. It's the God question, Jeremy. No, we didn't talk about this. Go ahead.
They're panicking.
Did you just throw it to me, Ben?
Yeah. You want me to take it? It's a very unstable situation over here at the end of the table. I can begin to speak, but I'm not sure where that's going to go. Would you like to start it and then dish it what you're saying?
I'm going to take a run at it, buddy. Thank you. This season will actually, I think we're going to pull back a little bit from the heavy mythology. It's always there, it's always expanding, but we're going to give a chance for our brothers to come out a little bit from I feel like after 7 seasons there was a real crushing amount of mythology, which is all wonderful, but we're opening it up a little bit more to new areas, and there will be one overarching mythology, which hopefully will carry on for many more years.
Well, that's all the time we have for questions, but there is a surprise or a treat for you guys that we're going to show now. Just a reminder, the show moves to Wednesday nights this fall, premieres Wednesday, October 3rd, 9 o'clock, 8 Central, so on the CW.
Real quick, just speaking of Wednesday nights, that's because of you guys. Most shows go to Friday nights to die.
Right.
Is an awkward exit.
We're going to roll the gag reel now. Thank you all so much for coming, and thanks to Rich Sands, our moderator, and our guests.